guys, it's Kim and Boo Boo Kitty. This is just a introductory video for the Trans Love vlog, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea about my situation, my experience, and a little bit of a background, so that if you have any questions or any suggestions, those are totally welcome. I know that my experience might be a little different from everyone else's, so just to get a little bit of a different perspective, this is just my background. So, Jake and I have been dating for about 2 years, but we actually knew each other for about 10 years. We dated a long time ago, and when we were a lot younger. And we've been dating for about 2 years now, and he is transgender. He is just about 2 or 3 weeks post-op. He just had top surgery with Dr. Yaramoni, so that was awesome. He's still getting better every day. And he has been on T for almost a year and a half, about a year and 5 months, he said. So it's definitely been interesting. And I guess what's interesting about our situation is when we first started dating, I knew that he was trans. I know that for a lot of other people, they went through this whole transitioning experience and trying to figure out how they identify now. A lot of other girls I've talked to identified as lesbian before, then their partner came out as trans, and they go through this whole process of, well, how do I identify now? I was a lesbian, and now what am I? And am I straight? Am I still lesbian? And what do I tell people when they ask me, what are you? And I just never really had that experience, because even when we were kids, I knew that he was trans. He actually came out to his friends and family in the 8th grade, and his family really wasn't supportive, so they, he basically just had to hide it and still pretend that he was female on the outside, even though it didn't really match the inside. So, but in the beginning I knew, and I was okay with it. I never really had that struggle of, what's my label now, because even before, with dating other people, I never identified as, oh, I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, or I'm straight, or I'm bi, or whatever. I never really had that distinction of, this is my label, and this is what I am. And so even now, I really don't, when people ask me, when they find out that he's trans, or if they already know, they'll ask me, oh, so are you a lesbian? And I just kind of laugh and don't have an answer, because I don't have a label. I really don't believe that everything is either this way or this way. I feel like there's a lot of in between. A lot of the world wants to separate everything as male and female, or gay or straight, or white and black, and I feel like there's a big in between, and I just don't feel like I really identify with any of those labels. So when people ask me that, I really don't have an answer. So I just never really struggled with that label and identity issue that I know a lot of other couples have struggled with too. So if any of you can kind of identify with that, feel free to ask me any questions or any suggestions that you might have. It's totally welcome. So yeah, that's a little bit about us. I think my experience is more of, how do you maintain a relationship, a long-term serious relationship with someone who's going through something so huge, because I feel like when he first started transitioning and going to see a therapist and talking about it and thinking about starting T, I really was reaching out for some feedback from other females or partners, just asking, how did they deal with this huge change in their relationship, and did the relationship change too? And I just felt like this was a big part of his life where he would need to be totally focused on himself and not so much on my girlfriend and my relationship and I feel like I didn't know where I would fit in that whole process, and it really worried me because I really love him, and I didn't care about the parts or the identity. I love his parts, and I don't care which ones he has or which ones he changes. I'll still love them. For me, the only thing that was different was the name. It used to be Kim and Megan, and now it's Kim and Jake. It just wasn't that big of a deal to me. But the thing that I was really worried about is how do I maintain this relationship when he's going through something so huge, and you need to be focusing on himself and his new role in society, and who am I now, and developing his whole persona, because it's really similar to when a teenager goes through puberty. Now he has to do it all over again as an adult, and just figuring out where he fits in and how he identifies with other people. I feel like I needed to take a step back and kind of let him figure all those things out, and not be so in his face about, well, what about us, and what's the next thing for us, and I just kind of worried about, is it even possible to maintain a serious relationship when someone's going through something so big. But I do know that I am a huge support system for him, according to him. So I know it makes it a lot easier for him just to know that I'm there when he's ready to talk about things, or when he's ready to focus on the relationship. I'm here. So if anybody has any questions or concerns along those lines, I'm totally here to answer anything for you. I will give you my email address and my Facebook info in the comments once Jake helps me figure out how to do those things. And just feel free to send me a message anytime, and let us know if there's any topics that you want to hear about, any questions you have. We're happy to talk about those things. So see you guys later. Bye.